Can I see her? Oh, be joyful in the Lord, all ye lands. Being careful to go all the way to the end of the phrase, even though full, for example, doesn't have that much emphasis. That makes sense? Terrific. Just wanted to follow that real quick. Beginning.
Oh, be joyful in the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness, and come before His presence with a song. Yes, Lord, that the Lord is God. It is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are His people. Our sheep of His pasture. Oh, go your way into His gates with thanksgiving, and into His courts with praise.
Thank you. Altos and basses, would you sing at the bottom of page 3, your Go Your Way? Sopranos and tenors, listen to the way they phrase it. Okay, so just right there, it's your Go Your Way at the bottom of 3. And
Go your way.
so they come back off of it ever so slightly. So can tenors and sopranos do the same thing at your Oh Go Your Way in the middle of the page? And
Oh, go your way.
a little bit more, don't back up quite so much, okay?
Oh, go your way.
There we go. And it probably is a range thing too, which is why it's hard. But if we can try to attempt that, that would be great. Let's all start right there, sopranos, tenors, and then we'll go on. Okay?
Oh, go your way into His gates with thanksgiving, and into His courts with praise. Be thankful unto Him.
Yeah, I can do a better job of showing that. Let's make sure we get a collective breath to make sure we're all expressing it the same way. Collective breath right before we thankful, right on the downbeat of the 2/4 bar.
Be thankful unto Him.
Let's have a little bit less on B, a little bit more on thank. Okay? Same spot.
Be thankful unto Him.
Now let's bring the whole dynamic down, okay, by about 50%. That's so specific, okay? But, bring the dynamic down, okay?
Be thankful unto Him.
Yep, let's get our B all lined up. It's probably B, but let's do it.
Be thankful unto Him.
Go on.
And speak good of His name.
Make sure you breathe together.
For the Lord is gracious.
Let's get that S together. I'll show it better for the Lord. And,
For the Lord is gracious. His mercy is everlasting.
tenors and basses at His mercy. Tenors are having trouble with that lead towards the end of that. It's hard. It's okay. Tenors and basses right on His. And
His mercy is everlasting.
can you blend the La better, especially tenors? Just sing La. There it is. Now just sing Eva. So here's your E. You're not sure. Sing front of E and that was a great place to start. You got that line right there. Let's all start on the top of 6 now. All starting on the top of 6.
His mercy is everlasting.
It's almost there. We are not quite together with the triplets. So really be aware of the people around you, trying to get those triplets right together. I think tenors were the culprit, which makes sense on your ascending line. Okay? Really get the triplets together.
His mercy is
bottom of 6, focusing on the differences of articulation. And to endure from generation. So whenever you have the dotted rhythms, it's a little bit more buoyant, and then everything else is a little bit more legato, which is hard for me to show because you're all doing different things at different times. Okay, but just the basses and the sopranos.
And the truth endureth from generation to generation to generation.
And now altos and tenors. Would you do the same thing, starting with the tenor entrance?
And the truth endureth from generation to generation.
Thank you. Altos, you can open up a little bit more on your smooth vowel. What is a C natural? And his true. Put a little bit more space in that so that we can actually hear it. Okay. Just the same pairing again. Okay. Same pairing again, and also grow on your held notes as well. Same pairing again.
And his true endureth from generation to generation.
And we'll obviously grow all together a little bit more. Everybody now. Everybody.
And his true endureth from
It is marvelous. Just one little tiny detail. Can you all say galore? Galore. So there's a little bit of a g before the l. Okay, so not glory, but glory be. Just say it and one.
Glory be.
Yep, and that'll help even more. Let's start right on the downbeat of bottom of 7. That last measure of 7 on the downbeat. Could you give them the chorus? Should I have it? No, I don't. Okay.
Glory be to the Father and to the Son.
And with any of your aspirate consonants, can you have more? Father. Some we don't need more. Really, it's just father. But anything else that comes up. Okay, that's aspirate consonants at this forte level. Please do that. Same spot. Same spot.
Glory be to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Ghost, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be.
Can we have a little bit more alto in that chord? Let's just go sing w, our chord on w, and a little bit less bass. And then it's all, make sure we have a good w, and no hint of an R at all. Sing w again. There we go. Sing the whole phrase, starting on the downbeat of the 2/4 bar. And go a little bit more to end, and I will show that better. Without end. Yep, right there, 2/4 bar. And I love what the soprano said, without, just a little bit more on the there. Okay, can we all do that? You guys hear that? Okay, a little bit more on the to be expressive with it. You sound really British with it. But notice that it's a pianissimo and then a piano, so we should have a little bit more contrast. I don't think we should be quieter at the pianissimo, but we should be louder at the piano. Let's go back to the pianissimo. Can we have a little bit more direction into each of the downbeats with our amens? Amen, amen. And then come off of that a little bit more. Amen, amen. And that way we get the good back and forth between the voices, okay?
So great stuff.
Yes.
I mean, really great stuff. And I know I'm not going to go over.
Yep, that's fine.
But that's just the way it goes, right?
Yeah, I know.
So a few things that you just asked for, it's great. I think that if you, even within these large gestures, if you try to really show a difference of like, dum, ba, da, and you can't do it with every voice, right? But even just basics, can we start from, you know, like, take the tenors actually, take the tenors and the sopranos and just shape it the way you want it,
Yeah.
just the sopranos, ask everyone else to listen and then have them put it together.
Sounds good. That is terrific.
So where did you want where was the other?
Yeah, I was thinking about something else. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because 2 and 1 are the same.
Yeah. You can go ahead. Okay. Yep.
So I think part of it is actually even the second beat is too big, right? So you're giving a nice prep, but
Sure.
two can't be as big as 1.
That makes sense.
The 1 to 2 to get them to back off is great, but I think you're starting with 2 forcefully if you really want them to lean in.
That makes sense.
This third, second.
Yep. Yep.
It's pretty much the same.
Okay.
Can you make it really drastic?
Yes.
Kurt, here we go, and sorry.
I don't know which one's it.
No, you started downbeat. In the performance, hopefully it's not that much, right?
Yeah.
But you sometimes you have to be drastic, especially at the beginning of instead of can you shape it this way, can you go to this bar and all that talking, right?
Sure.
Just be really dramatic so they can see it,
All right.
and then you can back off. I think afterwards. See if that gets you. What you need.
Okay. Yep.
Just do the same thing.
Try that again.
No, again, you might not do that in a performance. I mean, that's might be a little much, but that's how you can take care of it, right?
Yeah.
So now, basically, now just can you apply that as well, and then do everything together?
Yeah.
And at this point, now it's back to like the idea with Renaissance. You can't shape all at the same time, so you have to pick one section that you're going to shape for one of those lines for at least the
Yeah.
whole amen, and then you can go shape something else, right?
Yeah,
For the next
yeah,
one.
yep.
Yeah?
Okay. Everybody? Felt better about that. I think I gotta tweak some things a little bit.
And what I always have to remind myself is even if I want to go to another voice part, that I have to at least wait one beat. Like I will need to breathe too long before I can show that, right? So even if it's dum ba da dum, and then I want to get over the basses, I have to know I can finish with like the sopranos running first. Breathe myself before I go, right? So that means you're gonna probably miss one phrase in between something by the time you get to it, right?
Sure. Are you
If you're
talking
gonna
about-
shape. So like for instance, if you're gonna shape this with the sopranos, it's really going to be that before you can really shape
Got
it,
it.
right?
Yeah.
You can't really try to shape that and then shape that right after.
Because then everybody's like,
We
what do you
can-
actually shape?
Right, we get confused too, like, was that still our line, was that something else's?
That makes sense. Yep.
No, but I think the ending is so much better. The only other question I have with the ending is where all of that from there goes. I can tell that then is a crescendo, but what's the shape of that? Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody else.
Show it.
Yes.
Yeah. Same spot.
Maybe we don't do that, right? Because in the cathedral, he doesn't can't even deal with somebody way up in a balcony deal with it, right? But so to me, this seems like it's a stackable.
I agree. It's feeling stagnant.
Sweet. Think about how you want it differently, and remember, the more range right now you give us, the better, the quicker we will read.
Yes.
I think this is fun. This is better.
Better. Yes. I was thinking more of getting into this bar, leading more into the bar.
Yes, I can tell. That's good. Because that's such a connection, right? Does this perhaps from here perhaps go to that?
Yes.
So,
Which I was trying to show, but
well, no, but that's what I assumed. I think it assumed that this is
sure.
just what I was,
So
right?
leading into them but not pointing it.
Yeah. One more time, and then there's a few other things from the beginning.
Okay.
Talk about.
Yep. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think I've probably done so many things to you now that I don't use. It was like, wait, I just wanted to plan that out. So I get that, but this was so much better.
Yes,
All
I
right.
felt better about
I
that.
think I'll get it.
Yes. Yep.
Sweet. And I know you guys have talked about this for so long, and I haven't. Even though it is Britain, and yes, a lot of times you just want to kind of get beats. I'm a huge proponent in the middle of the section to think of everything in one, so we don't get and all this triple that kind of goes back and forth. But
Sure.
And I just wonder if maybe
We can try it. We can try it. Yeah, for sure. Let's start page 4, bottom at the 2-4 bar.
I think this is a tempo that's slower than how you did the piece before.
Yes, it is. Let's not do that.
And because then that fixes the triplet on the last measure, right? Because right now they're singing it down a quarter with an eighth. They're singing la sting. They're not singing la sting. It's a little bit later. It's really closer to an eighth note than the end of the triplet.
So would you say not even
la sting.
Because just now with this moment and this moment, I did show them to get this together. Would you suggest?
But when you show two, that's implying that now we're back in kind of a dual mode.
Right.
And so then we get la sting that almost goes to an eighth note instead of the three.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try without showing that. Yeah, I'll try without showing. Just the top of page 6.
Oh, go back to the first one.
Let's go back.
I mean,
All the way back to the.
Well, the two triple sections, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because it is the same rhythm.
Yeah. Let's start top of 5 at pianissimo and the organ. Top of 5 the pianissimo and the organ. We could start there.
You mean on the same page numbers?
Oh, that is where you are? Oh, okay.
And just don't have my pedals and all of the other things. So I had to play a chord.
Yes, of course. Yep, okay. I missed it. Oh, let's try that again.
For the Lord is gracious. His mercy is everlasting.
Yeah.
So they just need a shout.
Yeah, let's do that again. See if we can get more together. Because there isn't really a way for me to show that in on, is there?
Well, I mean, to show what?
To show the placement of, since they're holding that half note to the chord note, is there really a way to show that? So we should just together.
So no, there's not really. I mean, unless you decide to get it through, which I would do.
Right.
But I would also advocate that there's no reason that you need to show it, right?
They just
yeah. I mean, we just have to get used to yum bum 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 bum, right? And we've gotten so much into two that when we've got da 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 ba bum, that when we don't think about the full triplet, it still becomes almost an eighth because we're sitting in two.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's try it again. Back to top of 5.
For the Lord is gracious.
I did it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that again.
That's why we're here.
That's this way.
For the Lord is gracious. His mercy is everlasting.
So there's no emphasis now on that last quarter. And that is right? The other, I think, it was so great, we're like, can it even be even smaller sound? Right, and you've got such a nice just, here we are. I don't know, and you might look at the tape, I feel like there's a little too much left hand that just kind of comes into to accent like, oh, here's the downbeat of the bar, right? Or things like that. I think you could feel how more of it could just be here, especially soft parts, you know. I don't think you even need, even in small, I don't think you need both things.
Yeah, that's just a habit of, I'm thinking about so much. I
Sure.
forget to bring the left hand out too.
Sure. Yes, but I think that'll really give you such a better idea. And this is another, I think, struggle with this piece, or this kind of piece, right? It is for a time we want it to have a full sound, and then we so much of, and we want to give these huge things, right? And I think with Britain, and especially if you're dealing with distance with an organ like that, just crisp. You know, just a little something that's more crisp that doesn't have so much weight to it.
Sure.
I think they'll still put the weight in that you want, but then you won't work as hard, which we always want to do, right? And I think it'll just feel like
That makes sense.
can you do like the first 2 pages, just thinking
Yeah.
of something a little lighter?
Yep.
Oh, be joyful in the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness, and come before His presence with a song. Be sure that the Lord He is God. He is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves. He has made us.
Yeah.
I think it looks better as well, and you'll see that on the video for tomorrow. But then when you really do want to shape something, then you can do it without feeling like you're.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Bravo, a great person to play on.